Okay. All right, well, let's get into it. Good afternoon, good evening, good day, good morning. All depends on where you're located. Back here with another episode of the USFL League Presents the Owner's Box, the only PSFL league with its own live talk show or talk shows that I know of currently in the Madden community, man. Here with another episode 27. With my co-host here, good friend of mine, the Giants, Ty-riffic. Welcome back. So it's been like a month, due to my crazy lifestyle and schedule. It's been like a month since we've done this co-host show. This is like the second one back since my little hiatus. We actually back, man. It feels good to be back. I apologize for the lower third not being in. The little graphic at the bottom, Google Hangouts is acting crazy. So, but that's all right. I got his new graphical layout and stuff coming. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, man, welcome back, man. Welcome back.
Nah, man, it's been pretty topsy-turvy for me too. That's why, I get it. I knew you had some things going on. I did too. So it worked out for the best. Plus, it's good to recharge the batteries. I had the same problem when I did the original show in our other league, NBL. Like, even doing the show now for seasons, I mean, the matchups are somewhat different, but they're kind of somewhat the same. There's only so many tips you can give. There's only so many questions the folks have. So from time to time, it's not the worst thing in the world to recharge the batteries. And, you got them young gunners like Mo doing the Mo show. Let him have at it. Let him give his takes on the way he sees the world, so to speak. And now it's time to get back to it.
Yeah, I agree. At first I didn't know how to perceive the Mo show at first. I heard a couple of shots. I heard like a lot of little subliminal shots. I reached out to some people. I know I reached out to you, reached out to Boone. I actually spoke to Dre, from the Cleveland Browns, man. And I thought about it. It's like, do I build it or do I destroy it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I couldn't really be mad at him because I hadn't been doing shows. So him doing it was like flattering, because it just meant that, something was missing. You know what I'm saying? So, and it takes a lot to get on this camera and just jump on here and do this. You know what I'm saying? So I commend them for doing that, and it got me fired up to, do it. And then plus Boone, a couple other people like, yo, you need to get back to do it. Now, the Owner's Box, man, we need one.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, yeah.
Think about it. McDonald's is Burger King. Pizza Hut has damn Domino's. I mean, it's the way of the world. Competition is a good thing. Steel sharp as steel.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to him for doing that. I see the daddy leagues. There's still an issue with daddy leagues, man. EA Sports. Can we, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I do. I've been talking with Bill about it. As a matter of fact, me, Bill, and Cletus talked about it this morning. Supposedly, the companion app is now working. However, Bill has tried to sync everything up. So is Cletus. I'm gonna look at it in a little while. And I still see. I mean, they got the game of the graphic right. It's half and half now. Like here's what I noticed that's working. The game of the weeks are correct now, because before the game of the week wasn't working. Now it's working where the right game should be the game of the week. I see the power rankings look correct, but the individual stats, none of those have uploaded. Unless, you know what, I'll take a look at it now as we speaking, but when I looked at it about 3 or 4 hours ago, none of the individual stats had uploaded.
Okay, so as of right now, Daddy Leagues is kind of like not accurate due to the EA Companion app.
Yeah, and it's 100% on the syncability issues between EA and the app. Let's see here. Yeah, see, I refuse to believe that 5 games in, the offensive passing leader, Lee Lockley, is 516 yards. I'm pretty sure the rushing leader in the league has more than 186 yards at this time.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. The power rankings look correct. Although maybe not, because I find it. Oh, never mind. You're there a second. I was gonna say I find it hard to believe you're not on the power rankings. Power rankings are correct. The game of the week's correct. The standards are correct, but none of the individual stats are.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So I guess, there's nothing that we can really do as the league owners and league players. There's nothing we can do. That's the EA thing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm surprised EA hasn't partnered with Daddy Leagues or just come up with their own whole little system.
I'm I'm really, really surprised at that too. But then again, if you think about it, I think for not only this Madden year, but last year we talked about it. I mean, it's whoever doesn't know by now that EA is not built for the franchise player; it's built for the MUT player.
But
I mean,
franchise is slowly fading.
That shit would have been fixed 911.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt, man. So how you feel about this is year 6. How you feel about year 6? I mean, that sounds crazy to even say that we're still here rocking out year 6 in the league.
You said it like when you said it Wednesday, I was like, damn, Gates is spot on, because that's how I feel. At this point in time in the league, if you're a veteran player that's been in the league since day one, your motivation's got to be 100% different. You have to find ways to keep the game fresh for you. You have to find ways to still keep it exciting. You have to find reasons to put that lab time in. You have to find reasons to play. It's that simple. Like if you just joined, like if you joined the league, I don't know, 1 or 2 seasons ago, it's still fresh for you. So even though you've been playing Madden a while, the league is fresh and the level of competition is fresh. So I get how those guys are engaged. But you or me, a Cletus, you know, like the guys that's been there since day one, since August 29th, like you have to dig down deep and figure out ways to keep yourself engaged in the game, because we know our plays like the back of our hand. We could run it, you know, in our sleep. Our division matchups are stale at this point. There's only so many times you're going to play the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Redskins 6 seasons in, 6 games a year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even the conference matchups, like you said, I mean, before, you know, you playing a boon to treat. Now it's kind of like, you know, it's damn near a divisional game. So, like, you need to figure out a different way to say, okay, what do I like about this season? What's my motivation for playing? And how do I stay on top of my grind and not get overtaken? That's basically how I see it right about now.
Yeah. And then you got to keep in fact the weather. You know what I'm saying? Is you know, a man comes out, it's kind of like end of the summer, early fall, and it's like wintertime, dead cold. So you're like, all right, I can, you know, chill in the house. Now it's like, we're about to do spring, you know, spring now. You know, today is like 80 out here on the East Coast. First day in like forever. We got a nice day. You're trying to talk to me about some Madden today? You know what I'm saying? Like that's tough right there. That's hard. So,
well, yeah, you know, it's one thing to convince your lady when it's, I don't know, 40 degrees on a Saturday. Hey, let's stay in. You know, she'll buy that. She ain't really looking, you know, like it's 80 degrees outside to buy. Hey, let's stay home so I can play the video game for the 15,000th time. You know, against the man, is that the same, man? Don't you and Gates always play? I mean, nah, but you don't understand. You know, it's a different season. Like, you know, that gets harder to pull off.
Yeah. So definitely, it does make it a little tougher to play. I heard we got a couple new owners. One of the owners, I know the Vikings owner, he's a guy in this other league that we kind of run off a mirror, like what we like to call a practice league. He's got into this league, the USFL. He's taking over the Vikings. So, and I actually just played him in the AFC Championship game over in that league. So he should be, you know, pretty solid. Shake up a couple things. It'd be nice to see how he goes against Green Bay and Mo in that division. You know,
he got the good start.
Huh?
He's not off to a good start. I want to say he's 0-3 out the rip. It's funny because,
well, he said the competition is much different. It's funny because that's the first thing he said. He's like, yo, the competition in this USFL league is much different than this league. I told him, like, yeah, this league right here, like the NCAA, the other leagues, like the league. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're 100% right, man. Like, I remember when you had told me, hey, man, you want to run this league? I thought about it just because me and you always said the same thing. Any reps are good reps. At the same time, my mindset into it was, it's hard enough for me to play in the one league because of the West Coast time difference and hours I put in the work. I could pull off 2 leagues, but I'm like, if it's going to predominantly be made up of the same guys, I didn't see for me what I'm gaining. Like, I'm going to be a different team. Instead of being the Giants, I might have been, I don't know, the Oilers, the Titans, but I'm still playing Gates at the end of the day. Like, Gates knows me, I know him. So for me, even though it sounded fun, I was like, you know, I didn't. If I was going to do a second league, I'd rather be fresh matchups with fresh people or where they run things differently to where I can pick up different things as opposed to playing the same group of guys but with different teams. But I do think that you doing that league, it's been an overwhelming success. And I've seen, like you said, some new owners come over from that league to help fill this league, which is good. And then 2, I've seen people that's been in that league continue to improve in this league. So it's been good overall.
Yeah, because it's not that many people. It's just me, Joe Deasy, Strong, Dre, the Saints and the Ravens and the Bengals. But we're all kind of like so spread out. You know what I'm saying? I barely see them guys. Like I barely play them guys. Yeah, everybody else is new. Everybody else I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh well, then that's cool because you're right. That's about 7-8 people maybe.
Yeah, right. So the other, because it's like 30 out of 32 teams. So the other, 20-something teams is random guys that, you know what I'm saying, that I don't even know.
That's cool.
So it does have that new competitive feel to it. Especially, they trash talking and all that. So it's just like, dude, I'm 6 seasons in. Right. Say to me, you know what I'm saying? That's going to get me. It kind of gets me excited. Let me just show these new guys what I'm working with. But other than that.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, like this league isn't really the same. That league isn't the same. It'll get there. But again, it's just another league to get reps and things like that. So, but back to the USFL real quick. How do you feel about this season so far in these first 5 or 6 games?
I think it's like we always see. It's at that weird junction, or like you like to say, the second quarter, to where it's like, okay, you don't want to get too excited about anything you've seen in the first quarter, and there's a lot of congestion. The second quarter is where you start to see separation and things of that nature. But I mean, the usual suspects are doing what the usual suspects do. The folks that are undefeated are the same folks you would expect to be undefeated. I think this season literally has been a mirror of what we've seen last season and the season before. Like everybody's kind of holding pattern, but it makes sense. I mean, you ain't saying nothing slick to a can of oil at this point. Like everybody's seen everything everybody's going to do. The vets, a guy like you, even a guy like me, we're not looking to stray too much from what we've been doing. All we're looking to do is fine tune and perfect what we're doing. I mean, you might add a new wrinkle. I might add a new wrinkle, but it's not like at this point in time, you or I is going to look for a new playbook. I'm not trying to learn a new scheme. It's all about, okay, taking what I have, simplifying it, executing it, repeating it over and over and to the point where it's flawless. So, I mean, everyone's doing what they're going to do at this point. You're not going to see any major twists or turns, but I do think the second quarter is when the pretenders and contenders start to fall away from each other.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like, because we're so far in the year 6 and things like that, if a team, let's say a team who's never made the playoffs or a team who hasn't really been able to go deep, should they have like a they don't have nothing to lose type attitude? Should they kind of switch it up now because it hasn't worked in the first couple of years? Like when do you have that almost where you damn near do run a playbook every, do something more different that's so left field to probably throw something off for a person who's seen everything like myself and you and Cletus and everybody else?
That's a good question. But like for me, honestly, I don't think playbooks are really, there's 2 things that I hear in the league consistently that I disagree with. One is playbook. At the end of the day, even the people that lose consistently, let's say Joe Deasy, right? Is it really a matter of his playbook, or is it his play calling and his execution or lack of execution? You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, that's what it is.
Right. So in my opinion, I mean, certain people, John Smith could have the greatest playbook in the world, a custom of all of the money plays for every single playbook in the league. But if he's going to throw 5 picks a game, he's not going to execute. He's not going to clutch it when it matters. Does the playbook really matter? So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I don't know that at this point in time, switching up the playbook to me, I can say this though. I do think there are about maybe a handful of teams, maybe 5 to 7 that when I watch the games, it's definitely a lack of plays in their arsenal. Yeah. But for the majority of folks, it's more so execution issues than a lack of plays. I mean, I'll give you an example. Relish, the Ravens owner. To me, he's one of those guys borderline that's a playoff caliber team, but he'll inevitably do something to shoot himself in the foot somewhere along the line. He has great plays in his playbook. He runs a good scheme. I think for the last 2 or 3 seasons, I take that back. The entire year, he's been in the top 5 in passing every single season. Guess what? He also leads the league every single season in interceptions. So is it the play or the play call, or is it his execution? So that's one. The second thing, that I really think is so overrated, and I'm so tired of hearing people say it, and I've had this debate with Cletus. I think people get way too caught up on team overalls. I just don't believe
team overalls don't mean nothing. Team overalls don't mean nothing.
I couldn't agree with you more. But the biggest thing I hear from people when they lose, oh, well, you know, it's because you have a 90 overall team and I have a 82, and then I don't have the same type of team you have. Once again, look, don't get me wrong. Talent is talent. At the same time, to me, execution trumps all. Execution and your play calling ability and situational awareness, it trumps team overall. It trumps playbook. I mean, let's look at Tick. I was one of the first ones to say it. Now I hear everybody saying it, and it's funny, but it's true. Tick runs 4 plays.
4 plays.
Search, a halfback stretch, that halfback angle, and he runs a bunch vertical. He runs 4 plays. Look what that dude did with them 4 plays. So he beat teams that had a better overall than him. He beat teams that had more plays in their playbook than him, but he executed them 4 plays consistently at a high level, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, so, and for me, I think you're right, because I agree with you. Like when I say playbook, I'm kind of thinking scheme. I guess is more of the you know, because it's not like you said the money plays. You can have all the plays, but to me, it's like the scheme, and the scheme is the execution, is the mastering of 4 or 5 plays. I kind of like bundle that all up together. So yeah, I don't want people to think watching this that we're just saying, hey, you got the best playbook, meaning like you know, you got all the money plays, or you got the Patriots book or whatever book. You can have all that and it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's the execution. It's all of those things. It's kind of bundled in together. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, he does run. I even hit him up because he beat me in the other league in the Super Bowl, playing them 4 damn plays. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, you got 4 plays. Like, you know, running plays are hard as hell to stop.
Well, yeah, and keep in mind, not only does he have them running plays, he's got that beast bruiser back Perry Walker that WAP used to have, that he traded to his brother before they both left, that used to say was like Earl Campbell reincarnated. So now you're running a stretch with that dude, and all of a sudden you hit him 2 yards in, but he bumbles, stumbles to quote Chris Berman for 4 or 5 more yards, and this is a 7-yard play, and that's 2nd and 3.
Yeah.
Now he flips and does it the other side.
Yeah. Or then he does the dive. You know what I'm saying? Right.
And next thing you know, he didn't have the ball, I don't know, 6 minutes out of the 8-minute quarter. Even if he squeaked the field goal out of it 3-0, by the time you get the ball back, you're frustrated. You're trying to speed up the pace of the game, you know, and it's successful for him. So I definitely don't knock it. The only reason why I address that is I've heard, you know, especially some of the newer owners too, but even prior to the newer owners, I had this discussion with Cletus when you and Candy played in the Super Bowl. Before you guys played, the initial thought was, well, Gates has this high-powered team. I'm like, I don't give a rip. Like, that's got nothing to do with nothing. Candy got here for a reason. Yeah. Like he's the AFC champion. Like, it wasn't luck. Like, at the end of the day, if he executes at a high level in Gates, he'll win. If Gates executes at a high level in Candy, Gates will win. It's not because, you know, your team is 92 and his team is 81. Like, that's irrelevant at that point.
Yeah, I've never looked at that because for example, you can have players that have high overalls, but their attributes suck. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just have high overall. Like if you put a person's awareness up and their play rec up, they turn 90.
You know, you hit it right on the head. Well, remember when we was breaking down Dre's team 2 seasons ago, and I said I didn't get how he was doing it, and you was like, "Oh, he's got a 90 overall team." I'm like, "Well, who?"
Yeah.
Well, see, the other thing that skews them overalls is them old vets, and I know because it happens to me every season. Like, you look at season 1, I've got Eli Manning, I've got Jason Pierre-Paul, I've got Olivier Vernon, I've got Janoris Jenkins. All these old vets, they're in the high 90s. So you look at the Giants team out the rip. At least they won't be this season at 3-12, but traditionally it's a high overall team.
Yeah.
Now a season or 2 happens, you cut them dudes because they're old, you drop down to an 81. I mean, but what did you really lose? Like, and furthermore, I'll prove what I'm saying. If it was predetermined that if you have a higher overall team, why doesn't Cletus win the Super Bowl every single season?
Yeah, because he clearly has the best overall team every year.
Somebody's beating Cletus.
And Green Bay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I know damn well nobody's team is rated higher than that dude.
Yeah.
But if everybody wants to subscribe to your team overall is higher than mine, that's why you won, then let's just give Cletus the trophy every season. Why is anybody playing?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's only been once.
Exactly, out of 6 seasons. But he's consistently, maybe not in the first or second season, but we all can admit he builds the best team top to bottom.
Yeah.
And he doesn't bring the hardware home every season because it's not about how high overall your team is rated.
No.
How did damn Cowboys beat WAP consistently? I know that damn Cowboys team wasn't higher rated than the Redskins team.
Not even close. Not even close.
But every time a new owner comes in and they lose, the first thing they fall back to is, oh, but it's because your team, you have the old Redskins owner, not the new one. What was his thing? Oh, all of the commissions have souped up high overall teams. First of all, I don't. But secondly, what does that even mean?
Bill don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then look, I mean, and then after Candy,
don't.
I was gonna say, and after Candy took the Dolphins to the Super Bowl, the Dolphins couldn't do nothing with him. He ain't won a game since.
Exactly. So it hit it right on the head, and that's exactly my point. So, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying not having talent at all doesn't matter. I mean, maybe it's the difference between somebody holding on to a pass on a key 3rd and 10 and somebody dropping it. I get that. I'm just saying that I don't believe that wins and losses solely come down to whose team is rated higher than whose team.
Right. No, I can agree with that. I don't think that as well neither, because I don't even base my players and who I pick off their overall.
Yeah.
I don't even look at that. Like my linebackers, I don't care if he has a 90 overall and is tackling a 70. He's trash to me. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's an old guy, he's got 90 overall, speed is a 70, and he got hot and like an 80 tackle. He's I don't want no parts of that guy.
He hit that right on the head. And everybody in the league would agree with that, even though they said they wouldn't, or you wouldn't see all these old heads in free agency every damn season.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Why ain't people paying Von Miller $9 billion?
Right.
Why won't nobody give Aqib Talib a $40 million deal? It's like 34.
Yeah. Because, that we got high overall, but there's intangible stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody can deal with that.
Those are situational players at best, and I'm sure most of the league feels the same way, which is why these guys get cut. I mean, depending on how your cap looks or how close you are to getting that trophy, I mean, maybe you might want to take one of them dudes on for a season or two if you feel you can actually win a game. I mean, in the big game with them dudes. Like, or it's a key, I don't know.
I did it. Like I did. Take me, for example. Last year I signed, I think, Dominic Sue because he was sitting there on the list. And then this year I signed Gerald McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
He's about 40 years old. Still got some good stats. I'm like, yo, all I need you for is one season. That's it.
Well, that or even situational.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to run that damn dime package. It's 3rd and 18, and it's a playoff type atmosphere game, and I need that. Do I want to put Jay Jenkins, Janoris in there over Joe Smith? Hell yeah. But do I really want to give this guy a multi-year deal and build around him? And that dude's about to die.
No,
I'm good.
Yeah, no. So yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. You see I mean, I think you kind of hit on the head a little bit, but there's always maybe one or two teams that kind of shock us a little bit. Do you see any teams with potential to do that this year? I see the Eagles are kind of off to a little rocky start at 3-3. He kind of, last year was his rookie year, and then this year is his sophomore year. People got the film on you and the footage on you now. You're not gonna get them saying wins. You feel anybody could, step it up and surprise us this season?
I don't know if there are any more surprises 6 seasons in, because even the new owners are not that new. I mean, there is. I do want to say Texas quit yesterday.
Okay. Is there a reason why he quit?
Yeah, he felt as if Eagles was stat padded on him. He asked me to legislate the issue. I didn't agree with him. He basically wanted me to tell the Eagles what to play call. He was upset because Eagles was up by 24 and it was 2:30 left in the game. The Eagles threw on first down. Then he said instead of the Eagles kneeing it or running up the middle, he was running outside runs, bouncing them outside. But Eagles didn't put up any additional points. So Eagles didn't break the rules. Texans interpreted that for trying to basically point out a technicality in the rules that states that if a player has conceded by not calling any timeouts in the later parts of the game, that you can't stat pad. So what he tried to say was him bouncing outside runs is stat padding, because now instead of 3 yards in a cloud of dust, maybe he got 7 yards. I totally disagree with that. Hold on 1 second, brother.
Yeah.
That's calling us. I totally disagree with that. Look, technically, if you want to be technical to the letter of the law, he's right. But that's some ticky-tack BS. What do you really suppose that I'm supposed to do, or any of the other commissions? We're supposed to give the Eagles a warning because he bounced the run outside and took 6 yards instead of a 2 yard up the gut? I'm not going to get to the point where I'm telling dudes, okay, when you have in this scenario, this part of the game, this is what you have to do. At the end of the day, it's a video freaking game league for people to have fun. Like, we're admin. We're not senators in Congress, and it's not that serious. And we've got more pressing things to do than to tell another grown man how he should play the end of his video game. The rules are simple. You know what? You want to bounce it outside, bounce it outside. Don't cross that end zone. You cross that end zone.
Yeah, don't cross that end zone, right?
Then we're gonna see you. But other than that, so
up 17, if you're up 17 or more,
right,
under 2 minutes, please don't cross that end zone.
You control that, and there's intent there. That's clearly,
especially they're not calling timeouts, and they're not calling timeouts.
Right. But I get at the end of the game, you know what? A lot of people, sometimes when I'm up big, I'll try different plays in my playbook I don't normally run. I'm not looking to bust somebody in the head with them. I'm looking to say, hey, I've never tried this before. Let me look through my coach's suggestions. Let me try that play in this scenario. Oh, damn, it worked. Whoa, I'm actually doing, let me run this out of bounds. I'm not trying to score, but okay, mental note, that worked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so at the end of the day, it's not the first time he complained after a loss. He's one of those guys, and we see him all the time in different leagues. You see it in this league. You'll get somebody that just ain't really keen on losing, which cracks me up. I don't know nobody that does like losing, but there's a way you need to carry yourself. It's
well,
not that serious, brother.
That's because, again, you figure it's almost like how college players, before they come into this pro league, it's like, oh, you're a high school player. Well, not like a college player, where it's like, yo, you're the man locally where you're at. Like, you're good where you're at locally. You know what I'm saying? But in this USFL, everybody's good. Everybody's the man where they're from.
That's the
how do you become the next Kobe Bryant or the next LeBron or the next Brady or the next, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all good where we're from. We probably all dominate our local friends. That's easy. When you're playing with 32 people, 31 other people, 31 different schemes and playbooks and styles, that's something different, man. That's something different. Or you come from a lesser league where you're thinking, oh, I'm the man over here. You come over here, you can't win a game. That does something to a guy's psyche. Yeah, yo, I ain't going in that league. You start looking for things like rules and then, you know, like what the Redskins last year. It took 3 people to beat players in this league. I mean, I wasn't pissed. I was like, yeah, I'm impressed. Like, it took 3 different guys to control one team to beat us in this league. That's saying something.
You know what's funny? I had that kind of same mindset because he was a divisional opponent. I swept him.
Yeah.
I felt pretty good about that, especially when that came to light. I could clearly tell in the second game, the style of play was totally different.
Yeah.
His game was much tougher, but I still won. So after the fact to hear that happened, you know what? I felt pretty good about it. Like you had a really good, short, succinct show on Wednesday, but it touched on the key points. Because the one thing you said I agree with, though, is it's kind of a shame, especially the person who I really feel the worst for is the Raiders. I mean, that guy basically had damn near an undefeated season, and for it to end horribly at that guy's hands due to fuckery, basically, it's not cool, but there's nothing you can do about it.
I lost him in NFC Championship game, so
yeah.
If he's not there, then it's me and Raiders. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I felt like finding out the controversy. I'd rather it had been somebody who earned that. You know what I'm saying? Like the Raiders should have won that.
Yeah.
Now go ahead. What you gonna say? You said about the show Wednesday. As far as
I talked about on the show Wednesday how you had touched on the fact that literally what you just said, that you thought it was kind of a shame that there was deserving owners that really played hard all season that lost to this guy's treachery, and you're never gonna know. Could Gates have brought another Super Bowl home? Could Raiders finally had knocked that pelt skin up on the wall? I mean, who knows? Nobody's gonna know now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the sad part about it, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and then meanwhile, you got this guy running around probably some other league talking about he got kicked from the league because he was too good. In total denial situation.
But they never, right? But he'll never say that it took him and his two sons or whatever. So again, it's you know, that's always the thing, right? When we invite new guys in, right? Especially, you know, I don't know how many leagues other guys play outside of the USFL. It's like the Wild Wild West out there. You know what I'm saying? It gets real. You know, I've played in leagues and been invited. I'm invited to leagues all the time, and it's like some of these leagues don't have no rules, and I've been in leagues where they got too many rules. Like you can't move players, and it's just like, yo, like it's getting out of hand with these rules. So I think we have a great balance, and the level of competition is it varies. You know, you can get somebody like a Joe Deasy, and not to discredit Joe Deasy, because Joe Deasy, he might think he's this, you know, good in this league, but I guarantee he goes somewhere else, he win more games. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that 100%. And it's funny because I tell people this all the time, the history on Joe. I brought Joe to this league, and I brought Joe to this league because way before I was ever playing any franchise, any leagues, I used to play online lobby like a lot of people. And I met Joe Deasy playing online lobby. Since Deasy's West Coast, we played a few good games, and I put him on a friends list, and he consistently be one of the people that I could turn on my PlayStation 11 o'clock at night on the West Coast, and he was up. So we would laugh. And the point I'm trying to make is that DZ used to be a lot better. I know he took a couple of years off from Madden, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to get right back into it when you ain't played for like 2 games. So sooner or later, I know it's going to click for him. I think there's a lot of bad decisions he makes that cost him. But I think once he cleans that up and he continues to do what he's doing now and get the reps, he'll be there.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, I was just saying that to the point where, like I said, new guys come in, they might get a Joe Deasy, and then they might get somebody mid tier. You know, they might get a Lions or you know, somebody like the new Eagles owner, or you know what I'm saying. And then they go right to a top tier like the Boer brothers, Cletus, myself. You know what I'm saying? You like. A boom, you know what I mean? Like it's so many different levels to this league as far as competition goes. And I don't know if a lot of new guys can handle that when they first come in, because they probably used to coming from somewhere dominating, or they're not coming, or you know, they're running so much lobby style offense or mutt style offense. They come in this franchise league and it's a different structure. Or a lot of the plays that they run off of YouTube don't work here. You know,
like other thing
from that don't work. Then what you do?
Right? Or like Texans. I think the other thing that gets guys is they come from a franchise that they've been a part of for a long time, and they're so used to the way that franchise rolls. Like I can tell that Texans owner, like he must have came from a really strict franchise. Like, because it really bothered him that much that the Eagles play calling toward the end wasn't his preference. Eagles didn't technically actually break any rules. Texans was basically butthurt about the sportsmanship behind what was going on. And I get it. Like, look, sometimes I don't care who you are, man. I can take losses with the best of them. But every once in a while, a certain loss will get under my skin. Maybe I had a bad day. Maybe I don't like the person I was playing. Maybe the person I was playing said some slick shit to me and I feel some type of way. So I feel some type of way after the game. I get that. But I never let it get to the point where it consumes me on a level that some other guys get consumed. It's a freaking video game, and have some perspective.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, because there's times, man, especially when you're caught up in the moment, or you have that game where everything feels right and everything's working. Like you said, you do go big. I don't want to take a no knee. Because I just like that feeling that, you know, all these plays are just working and these runs are now working. It's just this game feels good. Everything's working. You can't stop nothing. You know, it's kind of hard to then turn that off. You know, but you still keep the rule in perspective. Like the Eagles didn't break the rule, but at the same time, he was having a good time because everything probably for him was working that game.
Right. And I feel like that's why we play the game.
Yeah.
It's not like, you get to that zone 24/7. Every once in a while, the matchup just favors you. And like you said, everything's aligned. So I get it. Yeah. Eagles honored the rules. Texans wanted me to be technical. It was, I wasn't going to do it. He didn't like it. Hey, this ain't for you then.
Yeah. Yeah. It's on to the next. Slots fill up.
Actually, I have an invite out to an old school owner. You might remember him, Thang.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit me up the other day and said he wants to come back, and I sent him an invite late last night. So hopefully he takes that sometime soon, so that the Texans can be filled, and whoever plays the Texans could actually have an opponent. If not, Bill let me know the Cowboys has somebody that's wanting to join. So any which way you look at it, we'll be fine. This has been the best season, best year by far in terms of keeping all our teams filled and keeping them filled this late. It's been pretty impressive.
That's what I said. You know, it's been real good. Again, I'm 6 years in. I ain't never been no 6 years in.
No, you're right. Because normally at 5, I shut it down. Because right around 5 is right when we hit April, and I'm like, I'm cool. Plus, I like to play some different games from time to time. Because when we'll win the Madden season, I don't play nothing but Madden.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've been dibbling and dabbing with the Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? But it's hard to focus on running around in the galaxy, and I got mad games to play, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, right? So, you know what? I get my fill of it. I'm like, cool. Because by then, I'm starting to burn out on it. I mean, if you think about the life cycle, you got dudes that's getting the game the weekend before it comes out August 29th. Like, put that in perspective. So you have dudes that have downloaded the game as early as August 26th. And here you are now, damn near April 26th. Man, you done play through school season, you done play through Thanksgiving, you done play through Christmas, you done play through the New Year, you done play through Valentine's Day, and you clearly into the tax season. You know what, man? The game's
they had no new plays. They ain't had no new nothing. It's still the same game. You know what I'm saying?
And then no matter how good your girl is and how cool she is with you gaming and shit like that, at the end of the day, if you a grown ass man, kids or a family, like there's only so many like in fact her, I can't even argue with her. Like if she feels some type of way, if I'm still going in, in damn May and June.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for sure.
I at least need to give her a little. I'll give you a couple of months. Just enough time to get it out your system, because when August 29th comes, that shit's a wrap.
Yeah. You said that the power rank is up to date. Are you still kind of looking at that right now? I just want to know who are like the top 5, maybe top 10 teams, and just run through them.
10 teams, so we'll run through them. I'll tell you in 2 seconds here. Okay. We'll start from 10 and work our way up to 1.
Okay.
Number 10 at 3-2, the Carolina Panthers. Number 9 at 3-2, the New York Giants. Number 8 at 4-2, the Washington Redskins. Number 7 at 4-1, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 6 at 4-1, the Green Bay Packers. Number 5 at 4-1, the Seattle Seahawks. Number 4 at 5-1, the Oakland Raiders. Number 3 at 5-0, the Cleveland Browns. Number 2 at 5-1, Atlanta Falcons. And number 1 at 5-0, the New York Jets.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the same guys doing their thing, except the Redskins are new, and the Panthers. Panthers got the one. I couldn't play the game due to scheduling, so he got the sim win, so that helps him in the division.
Exactly what you just said, and that's why I said, like, when you get to this point in the season, like, everything's kind of on autopilot. It's why when you ask me any big major surprises, I don't see it. I mean, even if somebody makes the playoffs that hasn't recently, like Baltimore, I'm not surprised. He's been close every season. If Colts made it, I'm not surprised. He's been close every season. Like, there's nothing that's really going to surprise me at this point.
Unless it's like a Joe Deasy or the Lions or somebody who's never made it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. And then in that case, I'm like, okay, you're right. You hit it right on the head. Now I'm surprised. But to me, typically at this point in time of the year, you're looking at the usual suspects.
Right. So how does a team? That's what I'm saying. How does a team who's not? What could a Joe Deasy? What could the Lions do? What could the Bears do? What could a Dolphins do? What can these teams do? Just last hurrah, this last season. Like, is it?
Well, we touched on it earlier, right?
Trick plays. I mean, at this point, I'm like, I'm gonna just run trick play. I'm running wildcat. I'm just gonna go so far left, halfback toss passes or something. Like, something got to switch up.
I mean, I agree with that, but I mean, you're right. I get that mindset because you don't have none to lose. Yeah. So the mindset isn't wrong. I just don't think it's a different play is the issue. I think the issue with the folks that are consistently losing is a lack of execution or key mistakes at key times in the game. Like I said, Ravens, perfect example. Close to the playoffs every year. Leads the league every year in passing. Leads the league every year in interceptions. He can run a trick play if he wants to. He needs to stop throwing the ball to the other team. It's that simple. So what those guys can do, hopefully they have that light bulb moment, that epiphany where it all clicks, and you know what? They hold on throwing a pass that they would typically throw a season ago that would cost them crucially in the moment.
Right. Yeah, I guess because there's nothing really nothing new under the sun at this point.
No, it's not. I mean, yeah, it's 100%. You know, I mean, guys just need to execute at this level. I mean, it's not like it's impossible to do, because here's what guys can do. Remember how we talked about the focus it's going to take to stay committed for this season?
Yeah.
I guarantee you everybody's not going to have that level of focus. Somebody that normally does well is going to fall off. Let's say you have 15 people in the league that routinely do well. They're always in the picture. I highly doubt all 15 of them are going to still be locked and loaded. Maybe 10 might, but 5, you might be able to catch them slipping. So what those owners who aren't winning got to do is they need to keep their level of intensity up and approach somebody. It's not going to shock me to see upsets, quote unquote, at this point in the season, because you're going to catch somebody slipping. You're going to catch a Paya, possibly, oh man, I'm good. I got my stuff down. I'm playing Lions. I don't need the lab. I'm not going to pick up the sticks for a couple of days. I have a bye week. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'll play this guy's cold. I could beat that dude. And you're going to catch him and he's going to put it on you. So what them dudes can do is just Gates.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not sure. I'm here.
You was knocked off, brother.
I'm good. I'm listening to you, brother.
Yeah. So, yeah, all them dudes can do is just stay on their grind.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. I think that, like you said, the only thing that can really switch up is the execution, and maybe that's what it is. Because I mean, I watched their games. They're not like making bad calls. They're just making bad reads at certain times, or the wrong call at the wrong time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't call that play in that moment.
Right.
Like, third down or that crucial fourth down or whatever, they do kind of call like a funny play that I would never call. And I guess that just comes to experience and just understanding a scheme and things like that. So,
well, that and just knowing your opponent as well too. Like something that you can do on Joe ain't gonna work on Jim if you know what you're doing. Yeah. You might want to squeeze that pass in the middle of the field against this person. You ain't doing that shit against Gates. You ain't doing it against Boone. Like get that shot out your head.
Yeah.
But you got to think about it, right? That's where the discipline comes in. See, that's the biggest thing right there, too. And I know better than most because I suffer from it from time to time. And it's a lack of discipline. Now, I've been very disciplined the last season or two. And I'm looking to maintain that consistency. But it's that ability to combat that thought in your head that says, man, throw it, man. Like you ran this play in practice 50 times and you did it against Jim and Joe. That shit is open. Nah, man, you're playing this person. That shit, you think it's open. It's not open.
Yeah, it's not open.
Resist your inclination to just go with your gut instinct. Because a lot of people, Sean and you had a super dope conversation about this like 3 seasons ago in the owner's box, when we talked about his turnaround. And it was true what he said. If you think about probably 80% of the league, most people are hardwired to throw to the very first person they see open. They won't even look at nothing else. And on top of that, they already have in their mind a pre-designed, okay, when I run this play, this person is who I'm looking for. He's going to be open. So if I even think he's open, I'm throwing that without no hesitation. The other 20% of the league that's more consistent is like, okay, normally this guy's open, but let me scan the field real quick and see what's available before I just auto throw it to this dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the guys who are more consistent.
Yeah.
It's that little piece. It's that little piece right there. It makes it more consistent. Can't argue that for sure.
Little piece some people might have 50 picks, and Cletus might have 11.
Yeah. Who? I know it's early, man. Who do you see winning? Who do you think? It's early, but who you liking as favorites? Give me your final four if you could.
Oh shoot, yeah, it is early.
Still early, but give me, or just a matchup you would like to see in the NFC Championship, AFC Championship.
Matchup I like to see in the AFC. I mean, a realistic one or just anyone I like, or
it's up to you.
Well, because obviously, okay, there's two thoughts there. What I want to see are fresh matchups.
Yeah.
Like, how many times are you going to see Cletus against Adam? The Chiefs and Jets. Like. So what I want and what's probably going to happen are two different things. I want to see Browns in the AFC Championship.
I'm actually going to go with the Browns to go to the Super Bowl.
I want to see Browns in the AFC Championship, and I wouldn't mind seeing Raiders back there. I mean, Chiefs has made it there and won his bowl. Cletus has made it there and won his bowl. I'm not saying these guys are going to beat Cletus or beat Adam, but if you're asking me what I want, I'd like to see Aaron, the Raiders, get a shot at redemption because he got slighted with this Redskins debacle last season. So I'd like to see him get back, and he's played consistently great all freaking Madden.
Yeah.
All Madden. So I'd like to see him, and I'd like to see Browns. Or to be honest, a dark horse, I'd like to see Drew get back there. I know he took some time off. Me and him played this week. I'd like to see Drew get back there because I feel like Drew came in like a house of fire. He's always been in the picture, but I know he stumbled and had some issues getting past the boards. So I'd like to see him get there and get past the boards. You know what? I'd like to see Browns, Raiders, Jags, one of those three really make a legit serious run to it. On the NFC side, it'd be good maybe to see Boone kind of get back. Like, to be honest, I'm tired of you being there. So
be honest, bro.
I'm just keeping it real. Like, if like fresh matchups, like nothing fresh about the Falcons being there again. I wouldn't mind seeing Boone get back to the highest levels. Like, we talk about living, off the past. I mean, you've talked about it, and Boone won that Super Bowl in season 1, and since that season 1, he's made playoffs and things of that nature. But he hasn't truly had that run again to where it's like he was NFC Championship and higher, like contending for a Super Bowl. He's had some things and some rebuilding and some things happen where he'll get to the first round and get knocked out. So I'd like to see Boone get back there. You're not a fresh matchup no more. Pi, I think, has had his fair share of opportunities and continues to find ways to lose in the playoffs. Exactly. Instead of finding ways to lose, he find ways to win. He finds ways to lose. I wouldn't mind getting back up there. I made a nice little run. Had a nice season last season. I'm starting off good this season. Again, it's been a while for me since I've been in the NFC. Well, I haven't been in the NFC Championship game this Madden. Last Madden I was in it 2 or 3 times, but I haven't been in it yet this Madden. So I'd be a fresh matchup. Boone would be a fresh matchup. I wouldn't mind seeing Lions finally make it into the playoffs. I think that what kills the Lions are these chronically, horribly slow starts. Like, it is effing hard to come out of these 1-3 and 1-4 holes. And that's what
for him to get in, he has to win his division.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think Eagles is a lot better than you think. Eagles kind of reminds me of Cletus. I think that maybe he doesn't get looked at the same way because he tends to talk his way into some people's skin in the chat. But that guy plays a really good game. Like, for him to go far, I'm not going to be surprised. He's in division with me. I play him. I know what he does and what he brings to the table. It's tough in the NFC. I think the AFC has a better chance of some fresher matchups than the NFC. The NFC, like you're always like the people who's always going to be there, always going to be there. And the people who are always on the bubble haven't taken it to the next level yet. So it's hard for me to see somebody like I want to believe in Saints. I want to believe in Lions. I believe they can win some games, but I don't know that I can see them getting into the playoffs.
No, you can't. You can't. They just because they haven't. They had that one. Lions hasn't had that year yet. I think he should have never traded T.J. Logan or let him go or whatever. I think that kind of hurt him because I felt confident when he played that game. I think he could have did something. I'm picking the Browns to go to the Super Bowl this year because we played in the other league and I'll beat him by maybe by 14 or something in that Super Bowl. He played very well. I like the way he played. That's my first time actually playing him. He played very well. He played super conservative. He actually threw 80% that game. I ended up throwing 90, which ultimately got me to win. But to see him play that conservative and play that well poised, I think translate that over. And I think last year he went 14-2, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think he's just a player or two away from actually going. Him. I agree with you. Him, and I really like to see him and Jags go into the Super Bowl. I mean, go to the AFC Championship, or if not him, then the Raiders for sure. Yeah. It'd be nice to see if Strong could make a comeback, if that could possibly happen. I doubt. I don't know. I doubt. I don't know what happened with him, but I doubt it. But it'd be nice to see him or somebody different. But them teams for sure. NFC side, I feel like it's always going to be either Boone, myself, or Green Bay versus whoever, if not each other, unfortunately. I would like to see you up in the NFC Championship. But if you go, you're going to be playing one of us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's it. It's like us three plus you. The last two slots are like, if they make it, you're not getting past the first round because of the way that the matchups.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, this new Redskins owner seems to be okay.
It seems to be okay, and I think Eagles. Honestly, I think it's going to be a repeat of last season on the NFC side.
Yeah.
No team in the East has a losing record. It's going to be that same way. It's going to be the division winners and the wild cards are coming out of the East, unless something drastically changes.
Yeah.
Which, if you're in the East, that's cool. If you're everybody else, hey, you can't be giving up no games. See, this goes back to why you talked about Lions and winning the division, why it's important. Because when you have them super stacked divisions where 2 or 3 people are coming out of there and you don't win your division, there ain't no wild card spot.
Yeah.
That 10-6, me and Boone talked about it. At 10-6, Boone didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
Like the first time in ever. Because you had 3 damn teams. Well, you had the East, you had me and Eagles at 12-4, and you had the Redskins at 11-5. 10-6, we all know 90% of the time is a playoff spot. But when you have them stacked ass divisions, that spot's gone. So that's where it becomes real imperative to win your division. So when you get off to that 1-3 start, it's kind of brutal.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind even seeing the Panthers make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe even Bill make the playoffs. I mean, just, NFC there. Why, Panthers should make the playoffs. I mean, it'd be nice. It's just it's always the 2 words, man. Consistency and then, like you said, the discipline. Those are the 2 words. I think those determine how far a person goes.
Yeah.
But so it'll be interesting to see. There's a lot of football left. The weather is starting to break, so hopefully guys will still be around. So hopefully there's not a lot of sim wins and things like that. I think if Tick 856 is still around, Boone's gonna have an interesting, time, challenge for him to get to the playoffs again.
Except this week.
Yeah, is that the game of the week?
Me and Drew are the Jags.
Okay. And that's a good game. It's just is he lackluster or is he coming in like he came in with the no-fly zone energy? You know what I'm saying?
I think his energy is pretty good. He's been talking to me about this game for a minute now.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him or seen him in the chat. Usually, he DMs me or something. So I don't know if he's really back or
he's been hitting me up like that. It's funny. I just played Boom in a classic.
Yeah, I seen the results. I didn't see the whole game. He showed me the game changing moment. Oh, I was supposed to I should pull it up. So
while you do that, man, let me go get me a beverage real quick. You go ahead and pull that up.
Yeah, let me pull that up. He did. If you guys didn't see that game, let me see if I can actually pull that clip up of that.
Yeah, but I say that to say this. The reason why I brought up the me and Boone game is
Yeah, I got it right. So here you go. I'm actually gonna go ahead, but I'm listening. Go ahead. You can talk.
Me and him were looking forward to the game with each other because we hadn't played each other in a minute, and we knew it was going to be a tight, ultra competitive game, like one of them Clash of the Titan games. But what was cool was I was telling him that's actually what's getting me by some of the matchups. Like, I don't play Boone as much as you. So for me, it's still a fresher matchup. And it's a measuring stick game to where it's like, okay, you know what? This game with Jags, same way. Those are the kind of things that kind of keep me going. It's that matchup against Jags. It's that matchup against him. Like, I really am looking forward to playing Pi. I haven't played him in a few seasons, and I want to match up against him. So that's kind of what I'm looking at this season in terms of how I'm trying to stay motivated. It's just by looking at some of the individual matchups.
Yeah.
Like, love Moondog to death, but me seeing him on the schedule, he's been here since day one. I've been here since day one. This is like the 20th time we're going to play this Madden. I'm not exactly jumping for joy. I know what's going to happen in that game inside out, how he's going to play, how I'm going to play. It's going to be a tough one. Like, I already know what that is. So that's not exactly doing it for me. But when I see Boone, I see Jags, I see Pi, I'm like, all right, you know what? I would have see what Pi's cover two blitz is working with. We'll see if I can get my shit off against that. So, you know, that's kind of where I get pumped up.
All right, well, cool. Let's look at this window, this game, this clip right here. You and the Boone game, and I want to know your opinion on that.
Yeah, the final drive. Oh, I can tell you my opinion of it already. We'll go ahead and run the clip because
you can see it full screen, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. So just to get it, so I don't know what got us to this point, but I see a second and fourth. Give me just your thoughts and what's going through your head at this moment.
All right, go ahead and pause it. So,
go ahead.
So at this point in the game, when he called that timeout, I'm like, damn, I thought there was a little bit more time than it was. It's 1-13. I hit him for a 4-yard loss on that run play. So I'm thinking to myself at this time, I'm in full command of the game. There's 1:13 left. He hadn't went deep all game. He's been super conservative. He was playing tight. My defense was money. So I'm thinking I felt good. Now, before you run it, because me and Boone talked about it right after the game, when I called my defense, my dudes didn't set right. And I seen that. And I think I might have called the timeout.
You did. You just called it. You just called it, and I just paused it.
Well, no, Seattle called the timeout.
Okay.
Right? So when he calls this play and I see his alignment, I come out in a certain play. But my guys didn't set right. So I was concerned. And now I'm trying to remember. I think I called the timeout and called the same play again, but the guy still didn't set right. So I was like, F it, I'm going to let it go. Boone's been conservative the entire game. He's not taking it.
Let's watch it right here. Let's go through it.
Go ahead and I'll talk you through it.
Talk me through it. You talk me through it. Talk me through it. Give me a second.
This is a cool little feature with the little clip coming up. I like it.
Yeah, I'm trying to step it up. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a cool little feature.
We got a full screen, right?
Not yet.
How are we looking at? You see it?
I see it. It's just not a full screen.
All right, give me a second. Hold on. Let's go back. You don't. Yeah, you should be able to see. I mean, you should be able to see like just the window. I'm saying, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I see it.
Okay.
So now if you notice, my linebacker on the left, Seth Wunsch, I couldn't get him to drop down to the line, which is where he's supposed to be. So I already clicked on him and moved him down. And as soon as I came off him, he jumped back up. So immediately right there, I was concerned. Okay. Because that really jacks up the dynamic of my play. So I'm seeing is Boone is doing his thing.
Okay. Because it looks like you're in some type of cover 3. Yeah.
Right. Now you see how my guy is off the line, but he's not on the line?
Yes.
That's jamming up my play. And I knew it, and I was trying to do something about it before the play happened.
Got you.
I'd already tried to move him down to the line, but he went back to this weird location where basically I only have 2 down linemen.
Yeah, but he still blitzes in.
Yeah, but the blitz is going to be jacked up because he's not where he's supposed to be.
Yeah, so let's go back. So let's just go back through it one more time.
Now watch what I do. Oh, like you'll see on the linebacker, I literally click on him and pull him down to the line. I'm on him right now. And I pull him down to the line because I notice he's off. Yep. You see I pull him up, but you see how he drops back up?
Yep.
Now I'm debating at this moment, should I call a timeout? I'm like, nah, I'm good. It's 1:13 left. This dude hasn't won deep all game. I got fantastic secondary. I'm going to let it ride.
Now, question, what makes you get off of him? What makes you break off of that guy?
Off the linebacker?
No, the guy. Let's go back. The guy that you were actually kind of covering, where Boone actually ultimately makes the throw. You chase him initially, and then you let go off of him. And I asked that because if we pause and look at your defensive assignment, you have the 3 receiver hook, meaning as a strong safety, you're supposed to play the stronger side of the field. So initially, when he hiked the ball, and you'll see it here, you actually do the right defensive assignment. As watch. You chasing a guy. You're chasing the right guy, but then you break off. Why?
Because, okay, I'll tell you why. Because at that moment, I was in between trying to determine whether I wanted to call a timeout or not while I clicked off. So when he snapped me, he caught me. I wasn't wanting to be on the guy in the hook zone. I wanted to be on my safety. But I was also going through in my mind, should I call a timeout? Do I have enough time to get back down to my linebacker and move him to the line? I don't. I got to call the timeout. Ball snapped. Got you.
And then we ultimately see this here, the touchdown here. And then run me through your last, and let's just go a little ahead of here and run me through your last drive here, which you try to do. Because ultimately, and I don't want to give it away for those who didn't see it, I have some questions myself because I only watched it from this point on. Shout out to Boone for getting me this clip, and we talked about doing game breakdowns and things like this. So look forward to that coming forward.
My mindset right here. The first thing I'm doing. Okay, how much time's left? I got a minute left. I got 1 timeout. I don't need a touchdown, so I don't need to start trying to bomb it deep. But I need to be mindful of my time. I know he's going to be on Odell's head because he's thinking what I'm thinking, that I'm going to try to go for a big strike. So even though I know that in this one particular play, I said the first play I run, I'm going to take that deep shot. This play I run here is pretty successful.
Right.
Normally,
break down this adjustment for me. Break these adjustments down. It looks like Boone is in a cover 4, right? Why? Just you say it's successful, and explain why the slant, the fade, the streak, and the out route. What is your? Just give me a play progression. I'm assuming.
Okay, my play progression on this. Even I hate to get this one up, but I give it up.
It's the owner's box, bro. It's the owner's box. That's what we did.
Right. Okay. So my play progression here. All right. LaMarcus Reed, the wide receiver on the slot on the right hand side, is 97 speed. So streaking him is automatically going to pull them safeties up toward him, and they're going to start to get his attention. Odell is 94 speed, so he's right behind him. So by fading him and him being slightly slower, LaMarcus Reed's going to kind of take the top off that coverage. Right. It's going to create a one-on-one matchup with Odell to where if I throw the fade to the outside left, even if the safety is lined up on top of him, it's going to basically create a one-on-one. And I'm going to take my chances with Odell Beckham Jr. any day of the week on a one-on-one. So my first look here, believe it or not, I actually look at LaMarcus Reed in the slot because of how fast he is.
Right. So
if he has that opening, I'm looking there first.
Right. So what's that called? What's that called? Ty? That's that speed correlation where you have a two fast guys, you know, but they kind of have the same speed, but the one who's actually faster pulls the safety.
Right. And that's the reason why I fade Odell instead of streaking him to make him even a tick slower. So I'm gonna look at LaMarcus Reed first. If I see him covered, that means Odell's probably looking at a one-on-one, because what Evan Ingram on that slant's going to do and what that out's going to do, it's going to pull that left corner and that left safety down. So now that creates a one-on-one with Odell on a fade on the left, or it creates, if that's not there, because the user or the computer pulls towards Odell, it should leave me Evan Ingram on that left-hand side for about 20 to 25 yards.
Right.
That's my progressions. That's why I run them hot routes. That's what I'm looking at.
Cool.
And it's going to work in this scenario.
Yeah, let's run it.
Boom, there's Odell. Now, in this case, it was a 2-on-1. I realistically could have hit Ingram, but I'm still going to take my shot with Odell.
Yeah, and if I just take it back a little bit, you notice how Boone has to respect the slant.
Mm-hmm.
He has to respect the slant because you see him back up and he has to come down. And if you look, the out route is always open, I think, too, because, again, I think I spoke on another owner's box. Unless you run a hard flat, every zone in the game is designed to back up.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, you see Ingram right there. But see, now I'm going to tell you why, even though Odell was doubled up, I didn't go to Ingram. I respect Boone's user. Yeah. Boone jumped onto Ingram. That would have been a pick.
Yeah.
So now I could throw the ball out of bounds, or I could take a shot with Odell. Odell's 99 overall. Enough said. I'm going to take my chances with OBJ. Yeah. But look at Ingram and how Boone jumped on Ingram.
Because anybody else will think circle's going to be open. You know, certain users, like you said, he's not open. He looks open. He looks open. He still looks open. He's not open. As you see, Boone starts to peel back towards him. He's not open. That's a bait. That's what
right. Now, right, and going back to what we said about knowing your opponent and the consistency, that's why I didn't force that throw in there.
Cool. Let's see how it goes here.
So now I'm trying to no huddle it. I got multiple plays I can run out the snugs flip. I'm looking for something I like without having to burn a timeout, but something that's going to get the chains moving. The flats was open. It wasn't great, but I'm going to take that to keep the chains moving because, remember, I just need a field goal. I don't have to be greedy and look for a touchdown. So now I'm just looking to stay in no huddle. My time's running out. Well, let me run the ball, get this even closer, and get toward the middle of the field and set up a chip shot, which I did.
Okay. Why not a timeout here? Or no? Okay. Well, yeah. Why not a timeout there?
I didn't see what a timeout was going to serve me. First of all, so let's go through that scenario because I'm thinking as I was playing the game. I call a timeout right here with 11 seconds. Short of me hitting a play that gets into the end zone, I now need a play in the middle of the field, and I got to get out of bounds. Boone is going to cover and defend the end zone. If he does anything else, he will probably play a cover 4 or something to protect the end zone. He's going to give me underneath because Boone understands the circumstance in the game as well as I do. Like, why would you give me the end zone and give me the potential game-winning score? So he's going to defend the end zone. So that means I have to hit him with something underneath. To throw in the end zone's a pick at this point. I got to throw underneath. If I burn the timeout and then I have to go underneath, I might not get the field goal. So at this point in time, looking at just 11 seconds being left, I'm playing for the tie and not the win. The win is risky at this point.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's just that it took so long. I felt like you could have got another playoff and you kind of.
Because what I'm telling you is what I was going through on my head.
Yeah. Right.
But now also managing the clock and looking at what's going on, I'm like, and what was he in? There you go. Cover 4, drop show 2. Like I would be. Of course he's going to defend the end zone. So I didn't see a play I could pull off in that scenario that was going to get me into the end zone, and it was a chance that I was going to not be able to kick a field goal.
Right. So what is your mind here? Because I know you were sick.
My mind said he was going to ice me, and I knew that, but I knew I was going to make the kick. I didn't anticipate him blocking it. And then I'll tell you my mindset after this.
Oh, I was done. I didn't have no idea that was gonna happen.
Right. So now you asked me what my mindset was. Here's my mindset. Immediately after this game, I called Boone and we talked about it, and we had a good conversation. My mindset in that game, I didn't do nothing wrong. There's nothing I would change. I held them to 200 total yards. I'm the top defense in the league. They showed up. I was in control of the game most of the play. There's three things I could look back on if I really want to, but that's Monday morning quarterbacking it. First of all, I was up on him 7-0 in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
The second drive of the game, I had a chance to kick a field goal, and I was on the 1, and I decided to try to bury him and put him down 14-0, and he stopped me on the 1. So if I kick that 3 instead, it's 10-10. I could have that mentality, but that happened in the middle of the first quarter. I had 3 more quarters after that, so I don't look at that. It's the reason why I lost. The second thing I look at is I should have called the timeout on that busted play when my blitz wasn't set up right. When I seen my linebacker come off the line of scrimmage, I was trying to, but I knew I only had one and the game was so tight, I didn't want to burn it. And because he hadn't went deep all game, I didn't want to lose that timeout. So I took my chances and gambled on block shed and making the proper adjustments and the proper reads. His quarterback made a once-in-a-lifetime throw. He even admitted that.
He made a hell of a throw
at the right time. My secondary looked initially like my free safety Andrew Adams and Eli Apple were converging on the play, so I was comfortable, but the ball drifted enough, and he threw it exactly right to where it was in the right spot. Even then, I didn't expect it to go for a touchdown because of the angles I had. But if I had to do it all over in a blocked field goal with 2 seconds left in the game, no one counts on that. So when I seen that, I thought you missed it, and I was like, "Oh, he blocked." I was sick when I watched it. Yeah, I didn't miss Jack. But my thoughts on that,
like it's different when you miss it. You miss it. Cool, good tactic. When they block it though, like that's so rare, man. It's so rare. It's like,
that's why going back to what you said, my thoughts, I didn't feel no type of way about it. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, you want to win, especially when you felt you played good enough to win. At the same time, if I played that exact same game against 95% of the league, I'm winning that game. If I played that exact same game against Boone 10 times out of 10, that exact same game, I probably win that game. So there's nothing for me to hang my head about. I didn't feel ashamed. I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel like I lost the game. I didn't second guess anything I did. I just took it for, hey, the better man won in that scenario, and I tipped my hat. He had a busted play toward the end of the game, and he had a blocked field goal. That's what it took to beat me. So what is there for me to feel negative about?
Oh, no, nothing. No, yeah. And and
I didn't say you said that, but I'm saying that's the mentality. That's what I'm telling myself before the game. This is not to me, to you. This is me telling myself, Ty, Boone played a hell of a game. It came down to a busted long play and a blocked field goal. That's what it took to win. Like, what is there for you to be ashamed about? There's nothing you should have done differently. If I had to do all over again, I would do everything the exact same way. The only thing I might have done different was call the timeout on that one play on 2nd and 14.
Yeah, but like I said, you even did everything right on the drive down.
Yeah,
it's just the only thing you couldn't. The hard thing is you lost on something you had no control over. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the block field goals are so rare. They're so rare, and it happened at that moment.
You're right. See, but I look at it. There's 2 ways to look at that. The negative way is what you just said, because it's true. I could feel that way because I did everything I'm supposed to do to put myself in position to win and lost. The easy thing to say is you can't control that, Ty. So, like in my normal life and at work, I've always had that mentality. I try to focus on what I control. So the things I can control, I did to the best of my ability. So since that's the game and that's going to happen, it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to him. It happens to everybody that plays this game. You just got to, it is what it is. I would feel more sick if I self-destructed. Remember that play we looked at? If I threw it to Ingram thinking he was open and Boone would have picked me to end the game, that's when I'd have felt the way.
Yeah, you feel away. Yeah, because you know better. You know, somebody else Boone baited him. But you know better, you know what I'm saying?
Right, and it's self-inflicted. So that's when, at the end of that game, I'm sitting there in the hurt locker. At the end of that game, I'm like, damn, that sucked. I could have been 4-1. Washington lost, so it would have been a nice game to have in my pocket. But I'm like, it's back to the grind. Like, how often does that happen? Like, in that scenario, 95% of the time, I win that game. It was the fluke 5% I didn't. And when I say that, I definitely want to be clear. I'm not taking anything away from Boone or discrediting him. He played as good a game as I played, and it was clutch, and it took big-ass balls by him to take that deep shot when he hadn't taken one the entire game on me. So he did what he had to do. So it's definitely nothing away from him.
Because again, if you don't peel off, because again, you peeled off. If you peeled off and swerve, if you don't peel off, does he still make that throw? And then where does he throw it? After, you know what I'm saying? If you don't pull off, where does he throw it? You know what I'm saying? So that's the question.
No, and you're right. But again, I gave him 200 yards total the whole game. That play right there was probably 90 of it. So let's think about what I'm about to tell you. Prior to that play, I held him the entire game to 120 yards because that was about an 80-yard play. So prior to that, he was held to 120 yards. So I felt I was doing everything I needed to do, and I had faith in my team. And in that scenario again, I would have that same faith. The only thing I would do is actually set my down lineman, because if my blitz gets it, he doesn't have that time to throw that ball.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes total sense. I get it. It was just, it was just. I mean, that was a good game, especially them last couple plays.
Yeah,
really good game. So, just something new to be. I've been trying to add and implement, and just never really got a chance.
Awesome. And it's not because it was mine. I would love to see you be able to do that. You know what?
I mean, I could do it. If people, if there's a game like that, let me know the game. Even if I got to go in and go get the clip myself or whatever, I'll do it. Just let me know what games.
I'm almost thinking that, or maybe you should arbitrarily take. I'll tell you what you can do too, is just always take that segment from the game of the week. And
that's what I plan on doing. That's how I plan on breaking all the games of the week.
Right, the deciding factor in that game.
Yeah, I'll call it.
You can almost do it too, to where you have one of the people from the game of the week there to discuss that clip as your guest.
That's the plan, brother. That's the plan. I got some big things cooking. I'm over here cooking.
Gumbo. Mixing up that gumbo, huh?
I'm in here trying to cook up something. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to cook up. But yeah, that's what I want to like to do, man. I just thought that was you guys did have a good game, because I seen the score. I was like, damn, that game was close as hell. And then when he showed me that, I was like, oh, the block field goal. I'm sick. Because I thought Ty missed it on the ice. No, he didn't get a chance to even get it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't even get a chance to even see if it went in.
No, well, that definitely was going in. But it's funny. When I kicked it, my mindset was, I hope I get the ball first. If I get the ball first,
you already think overtime. Because
I'm 100 and then his guy looped around super slow.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Where I thought he was going to whiff past me, because I'll do that sometimes. I'll get around the corner, but I run clear past the kicker, and he doesn't dive or put his hands up. And I'm like, what the hell was that?
And he wasn't even using them.
It was just like, Olay.
Who wasn't even using that guy? I think that was like a computer. Like, computer did that.
I didn't even know that. That makes it even worse.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn, now that stings. I would have rather it was him.
That's what I was saying. Like, I think it was a computer. I mean, we can confirm that. I got to call him and ask him to confirm that. But I thought it was him. Yeah. Let me see if I can jump over here to the PlayStation real quick. We run through these game of the weeks of next week. As you see, I got the Eagles here. Sounds like you're in the call screen yourself.
Yeah, I was just looking to see if anybody in the chat had anything going on, but it's relatively quiet. It's a Saturday.
Yeah. We're in week 7, and any games been played? Just the one? All right, it's only win one. So let's pick this week and the next week's winners. You in Jacksonville? How's that going? How you feel like that? I mean, of course you said you, but
I don't like to pick my game, so I'm just gonna tell you what it's gonna come down to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Your keys to victory.
Keys to the game. Me and Drew talked about this, and now I gotta deal with my monster, because I'm the one that got him to run that spread offense. It works really well for him. It's going to be interesting to see how my defense and attacking style works against that spread, because the bonus and benefit to the spread is to spread you the hell out and create a bunch of one-on-one matchups. So it's real simple. If my blitzing schemes get in, it could be a long day for him. If his blocking holds up and I'm left on a bunch of one-on-ones on a bunch of them spread formations, it could be a long day for me. That's what I think the game comes down to. Whose style is going to prevail?
Got you. Now we got Panthers and the Bucks.
Panthers. I mean, God bless Bucks. I'm glad he's still hanging in there, but I mean, I don't know that he's doing much more other than just playing his game at this point.
I like that. God bless Bucks. That's it.
God bless him. I mean, man's it's been a long year for him.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we can say.
Hey, God, hey, instead of hey, get it together. Hey, God bless him.
Yeah, God bless the Bucks.
God bless the Bucks, man.
Yeah, that's right. Does Joe Deasy finally get redemption?
No. Love Joe. That's my guy, but so is Cletus. But if I at least seen Joe competitive with Jets, I might feel differently. But I've yet to see Bills and Jets play. The game was closer than 40 points. So I don't see what changes at this point in time.
The Mo Show versus the Redskins.
That's going to be super interesting. Redskins is a new owner. I've watched some of his tape. I like the way he plays. Detroit is hard to nail down because I feel he's better than his record is, but he loses games. Sometimes I feel he shouldn't lose. I think the fact that he's not familiar with Washington, Washington is new, gives Washington the edge.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Redskins, because nobody has anything on them. That's his advantage, and that usually helps these new guys. Dolph versus Steelers.
I don't know. Do they play that game? Like, I know Dolph, it's hard. Dolph works like a second shift or graveyard shift, and he's available. Then against the weekend. Bill hasn't exactly had the last season or two he'd like to, but I think he gets over on Dolph.
I agree. Dolph hasn't done anything impressive to me, so that should be easy win. Ravens and the Bengals. I'm going Ravens.
So my Bengals has definitely improved his game, but Ravens low key is a nice player. He's got a formula. It works. He's been consistently able to beat the Bengals. He does it again.
Cool. Texans up. We got that. Titans get the automatic win there. What do you
get? Hold on, because things supposed to be taking over the Texans, but
that's right.
Things been all Madden. I think Titans is locked and loaded into what he likes to do, and he'll beat thing.
Cool. Well, me and the Eagles. How do you feel about it?
You know what? I don't think you're gonna blow them out this time. I think that blowout, like you and he both said, was an aberration. Eagles is a damn good player. Eagles is a top player, actually. I go so far to say that. He's that good. I don't know what happened when he played you, but I don't think it's going to happen again. But I think you're going to win in this game. And the reason why is Eagles has been solid against me. He's really known how to play me. We're divisional opponents. He's somehow able to block my blitzes, which buys him time, and that guy makes meticulous reads. Where I think it's going to run into difficulty is I play an attacking style defense, you play a conservative defense, but your conservative defense covers up all of the little nooks and crannies that he's going to want to hit, and I think that's going to force him to have a pick or two that he doesn't want. I think Eagles is an emotional player, so once you get him to commit that pick or two, he's going to start talking himself out of that into making more mistakes, and I think you're going to get over on that game.
That's the plan.
What's that?
That's the plan. That's the game plan. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, that's my keys to victory. Those are his keys to victory. No turnovers and me getting to be emotional, and because that's what happened when we played the first time. The blowout started to happen, and he just started talking trash in the chat, and then he just went downhill from there. So
it's kind of like what used to be Pia's Achilles heel.
Yeah,
we all knew Pia was good, but when adversity hit Pia, he didn't respond well to it. And I like Eagles. We talk on DM. He's a good dude, and Eagles is one of the better players in this league. So I'm letting everybody know that now. Like if you sleep on that guy has a run in him at any time against anybody. But I think Eagles has the same problem Pia has right now, and I think he gets too emotional about some of these games, and I think it works against him. So I think because you play a protective coverage style and it's not an attacking style, you're not going to have the holes in your D that I have, and that's going to cause a turnover too that might unravel.
Boom. Colts actually got a new owner. Bill's informed me. Mo has informed me not too long ago. So it doesn't. I don't think it matters. I'm going with the Browns.
I am too. I mean, you never know though. With new guy could be Wild Wild West lobby player that comes in there guns blazing, running all kinds of glitches and money plays. But short of something like that, I'm going with Browns.
Yeah, that could be true too. You know, because that first game in, they just run whatever. Then we gotta like calm them down.
I hate dudes on their first game in. I hate that shit with a passion.
Yeah, the first game like you said, run every glitch known to Madden, and that's like we gotta calm them all the way down. Like whoa.
Yeah, you sitting there pausing every 2 minutes, going, "Hey, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that." Man, this dude keeps doing this shit. You can't keep no huddling me, bro. Damn.
Yeah. So, that'd be interesting to see. We got Chargers and Chiefs. I don't know anything about this Chargers guy.
I do. I brought him in. It's my guy Dexter. He had a horrible first season. He's starting to play much better this season because he's a guy that can really play, but he's been away from the game for a while. But Chiefs is a different beast. Chiefs is going to take that game. He's going to shut that offense down.
Gotcha. We got I think probably the game of the week in my opinion. Well, you and Drew is also the game of the week as well, but this one too is a good game.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on it.
Tick's solid. I know that Tick knocking Boone out the playoffs didn't sit well with him. He really wanted to send a message to Tick in that first game when he did it. I think he's keyed up for this game. Seattle is, and I think Boone gets this one too.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on if Boone can stop at the 5 plays. If Tick does more running, I think for Tick to win this, he should run that bunch more. The bunch for some reason, it seems to give a lot of people problems in this league. I don't really have an issue with it. I usually have an issue with that damn 3-play running scheme he has.
Yeah.
But I know the bunch seems to cause people headaches. I think that if he can utilize that bunch and get a couple good runs off, I think he can actually surprise Seattle.
You know what's funny? When I played Tick, that bunch didn't give me any problems either. I'll tell you the one play he's got that's tricky, and it's a lot harder to stop than people think. It's that halfback angle play because there's a post over the top of it. So human nature, you're using a linebacker. 90% of people in the league are using a linebacker. You're going to chase that running back, which is what he's waiting for. And then he waits for that damn wide receiver to break on that post over the top and hit you for that. If you fade back and try to damn knock out that damn post, he hit you with that. Like, I think he should use that more, honestly. Because tell you, bitch, to stop.
But I'm not gonna give out the tip. I'm not gonna do Tick like that.
Okay. Well, let me stop you right there. You're gonna tell me you could take a damn linebacker, put him in a deep blue. He's gonna knock out the post and then stick with the halfback. I got you on that, and you can't do it because that's what's gonna stop it. But
yeah, that's how you stop it. That's it. That's one way too. Yeah, that's one way. But if you don't want to commit that many people, there's also another way you can the strong safety cross man him on the post.
Yeah.
Shade inside and he'll jump that. But but they gotta figure that out, man. And after we didn't give them 2 tips, but after that, I still gotta figure it out. It's all good when you're listening to the owner's box and then you're on field with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna hit you with it when you don't expect, especially after he's been running the same 3-4 plays. He hit you with that.
Yeah.
So be interesting to see. This game, right, at one point I would say it would be a really good game, but now I just see that the Packers are destroying Patriots. What do you think?
I agree. Strong has been super inconsistent since he had his playoff run, I think, of 2 seasons. He's been wildly inconsistent. Secondarily, his whole scheme is built off, it's kind of like what I said with Drew. He'll spread you out, and he'll hit you and attack you deep. The problem he's going to have is Pie is not going to give you that amount of time. He's going to send a myriad of cover 2 blitzes at you, and you're not going to have time to wait for these long developing routes to play. And it's just going to – I see Packers getting over big on this one.
Cool. And then the Bears and the Rams. Somebody has to win this game, right? Who you got?
I'm going to go with Bears. He's been more active. I mean –
Really? I was going to go with the Rams.
Not only has Bears been more active, he's won a few games. I haven't really seen Son win any game other than a CPU game or sim. I've yet to ever, so far this Madden season, see him literally play a game against a live opponent and win.
He played me. He didn't win, but he played. Yo, Gurley was doing his damn thing. I know that was for sure.
Daddy's got that damn receiver, Jesus Bags, that just killed him.
Yo, he was jumping over everybody.
I'm telling you, that dude's a monster, man.
Yo, he was just lobbing it. Dude was doing this like jumping, spinning in the air. I was like, yo, he's mossing everybody. He was mossing my cornerbacks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bears though.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm gonna stick with the Rams. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I have no problem going with the Rams. All right. So yeah, just wanted to go through those. Do that right there.
Did you say you wanted to knock out next week's real quick too?
Yeah, let's jump back in. My bad. We can jump right back in next week. Let's jump back into next week. Let's go down. We'll do Bengals and the Steelers. I'm gonna go Bengals. I'm a Bengals.
That game's gonna be closer than people think. Bengals, I like the improvements old Willie's making over there. But I'm gonna go Bill. It's gonna be close.
Chaos is still chaos. It hasn't been yet organized.
Yeah, but he's got that familiarity with Bengals. But Bengals has been improving a lot. I like what I'm seeing from old Willie.
This is why I'm going Bengals, because it's still chaotic. There's no organization yet in Steelers. He had it that one year, went to the playoffs, and now it's back to chaotic. I'm going Bengals. Seahawks and the Chiefs. I think this is easy.
Good. Who you got, man?
I'm going NFC, man. I'm going NFC. Even though the Chiefs. All right, now let me be honest. Oh man, I'm going. Yeah. Who's my guy? But the Chiefs play so simple. You know, it's funny because we laugh at, we tease Tick, right? But the Raiders and the Chiefs are only 3 more plays more than he are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The shit is so efficient. It's so simple. It just works. It is so simple and it's so slow. Like, I don't know if you played them or have you, how long, you know.
I played Chiefs. See, you know what though? I feel that way about Raiders, but not about Chiefs. Chiefs is a lot more aerial than people think. I mean, Chiefs wants to run the ball, but Chiefs is comfortable and he's got a myriad of different pass plays. His defense is so damn tricky though and good, and that's what keeps it tight. That's gonna be a hard game to call. Yeah, that's a hard game to call. I'd say this. Keys to that game. I think Boone needs to get JT Todman. I think Seahawks need to be close to 100 yards rushing to win that game. I don't know that Boone is super comfortable like relying on his pass game. I think he likes to use it when he needs it. But if that run game is, then he has to rely on it. Chiefs defense is solid. So Seahawks key to winning, his running back's got to be close to 100 yards, and he's got to control the game on the ground. That's it. If he does that, he wins. If he doesn't do that, he loses. Chiefs keys to winning is real simple. He's got to be able to keep Boone probably to 50 to 60 yards rushing. If he can do that, he wins that game.
Okay. I think I'm gonna just say whoever has the better rushing game wins the game.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Well, to me, it's more dependent on whose style of play is going to prevail. And that's why I said if Seahawks is close to 100 yards, which is where he likes to be, that means he's controlling the clock, he's controlling the game, he's chewing clock, he's getting key first downs. I think it's his game. I think if he can't get Todman off, and I know he's not in love with Todman, but he thinks Todman's adequate. But if Kansas City can contain him, I think between the blitzes Kansas City runs and the coverages he runs, it'll frustrate Seattle enough to turn him over a time or two.
Cool. You know, there was a time where we thought Patriots had the Jets number, and it was just a temporary number. It wasn't a permanent one. Do you see Patriots winning this game over Cletus?
Again, I don't know if it's mental at this point. It's the same thing I said for DZ. That game hasn't been competitive in a while. And on top of that, I know that's a personal game for Cletus. I don't care if Cletus doesn't win but 2 games a season. He will ensure those 2 games against New England. He's developed this little ride who was strong. He keys up for that game. It's one of the things that keeps him going throughout the season. He looks forward to that game days in advance. And it hasn't been close lately. Jets got that.
Cool. No, I'm going Jets. Yeah, God bless the Bucks.
I was just about to say, hey, God bless them. God bless those Buccaneers, bro. I know Saints hasn't exactly enjoyed the type of success he wants, but I just don't see any redeeming quality coming out of Tampa Bay to make me think they got a snowball's chance in hell. God bless those Buccaneers.
I agree. We got Chargers and Champ. I don't even think Champ's won a game.
I don't either. I know Ronnie reached out to him recently and said, hey, it's do or die. Like, if you don't start playing your games, like, we need to go elsewhere. And he said he wants to play. That's going to be an interesting game. Champ's style, we've all said it. When Champ wants to play, Champ played the Raiders 2 games ago. No, Champ has played his games because he played the Raiders 2 games ago. Because I was thoroughly impressed with Champ's effort. Champ almost beat that dude. Long story short, who knows? I don't know if Champ's going to show up, and I don't know if Dexter plays the computer, how that's going to look. I don't know if he's going to take a force. I'm going to go with Chargers. What the hell?
What Chargers? I mean, we got another good game.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Browns and the Raiders. Who you going with? And we talked about this possibly being an AFC Championship matchup.
It's so hard to pick against the Raiders because that guy's lost a combined maybe 10 games the entire Madden. That's how good he's been. But I just think Dre is on another level right now. I know Raiders is dialed with what he likes to do, and it's simple. But I think this is a game that Dre is looking at as a measuring stick. I'm going to give Dre the edge. I'm going with Cleveland. I think he figures out a way to get it done.
You know, there was a time that I picked against the Raiders. I think year 1.
For the Chiefs. You said Chiefs was going to sweep them this season.
Oh, that's what I was saying, right? So, you know, year 1 I did it, and he proved me wrong. And then I tried to sneak it and do it again this year. And then, you know, again, boom, first game he beats the Chiefs. So the moral of the story is don't pick against the Raiders. It seems to be like that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Raiders. So, This Aaron, right? Aaron is the Raiders, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Aaron, you know, I've learned my lesson. I'm going with you, brother. It's on you. Broncos and the Titans.
Oh, goodness.
If it's Doc's gonna play like he played when he went to the playoffs, I'm going with Doc all day. Other than that, I'm going Titans. It's so hard. Like, what Doc is gonna show up?
Exactly, but I don't know how engaged Titans is at this point. So I'm going for the Broncos in this one. I don't know how engaged Titans is. Yeah, I'm going with Broncos.
All right. That's my guy. I'll give him the edge over them. I'll give him the edge over Titans. We'll take Broncos. 49ers and Eagles.
That's going to be a tough one, and that's going to be another good damn game, but I'm going with the Eagles. I played Tick in regular season. I played them in playoffs. I played Eagles in division. I'm real familiar with both of them. Eagles is really smart, and he's really patient, and I think he can do a good enough job to slow down the running plays, and I think he can contend with the verticals and the halfback angle, and he's pretty diverse on offense. I'm going with Philly.
You know, I think it's funny because I think the way the outcomes of this week determine the games, determine the outcomes for this week. If San Fran wins against Seattle, let's put it like this. If Eagles beats me today, he beats San Fran next week. If he loses to me, he loses to San Fran. I'll put it that way. I think that, if he beats me, he's going to be in such an emotional high, it transfers over for this game, and I think possibly the rest of the season. But if he loses, and he goes 3-4, I think he then, like you said, when adversity hits, he goes into a shell. he's not going to step it up, and he just starts to spiral downhill. That's my thoughts.
Sure.
Myself and Panthers. Ronnie, I'm going to play this game, so don't expect another sim win.
I think that Panthers hasn't yet figured out the riddle of Gates, so I see Gates taking this one as well.
Yeah. Redskins and Green Bay.
Damn, next week is going to be loaded.
I'm going with Redskins because I don't like Green Bay.
It's weird. It just seems, I don't know what it is. It didn't matter if it was WAP. Granted, Pie did beat WAP once, but it didn't matter if it was WAP. It didn't matter if it was that new Redskins owner. I don't know what it is about the Redskins, but Pie doesn't fare well against the Redskins.
Who Pie? I don't care who he plays.
Redskins is good. But I'm going to give the edge here to Pie. I think Pie pulls it out. Not only that, Redskins is a divisional opponent. It behooves me for Redskins to lose. I'm going to go with Pie on this one. I think he finally has had enough of Washington, no matter who owns them, and I think he pulls it out.
I think that Green Bay is now out of the Aaron Rodgers era. Jameis Winston is not Aaron Rodgers, and he's in the season now. He's going to see it now. He's going to see it when he comes to games like this. He's going to skate by. He's going to get by with other talent. But when it comes to these real games, these real opponent games, these are the tests. He's going to learn that Aaron Rodgers saved him a lot of them times. So, we'll see. It doesn't matter if Thang does come back. I'm going with you with this game.
Gotcha.
Unless he brings something so different, and the fact that you haven't played him. Does it catch you on one of them nights when you just got off? You got to go take a crap. You're tired. You probably work 20 hours. If you catch you around that time, then it's a 50-50 chance. But if you catch you at the right time where you want to play, you're eager to play, I don't see him winning that game.
It's funny because as long as I've known and played Thang, he does the same thing on defense. He's going to play man the entire game, and he's going to pressure the entire game. And on offense, he's going to try to pound the ball. He's going to throw them slants at you. You normally can get 2 or 3 picks from him, and that's normally the difference.
Yeah. But it sounds like you got to figure it out. Again, I don't see him winning it.
I played Thing a lot, man.
Yeah. We got Bears and Lions. Oh, my.
Right? I like when you said that. Like, Lions, Tigers, Bears.
Yeah, Lions.
Good because I'm going to go with Mo. Bears in spurts can really turn it up. Even though Lions isn't as consistent as I would like him to be, he's consistent enough to beat Bears, who's even more inconsistent. And Lions is not far off. Neither is Bears, but I just think Lions is a better team, honestly. He runs a better scheme.
I think the Mo Show is more focused on the Mo Show than he is winning. And I think he uses that platform to hide those losses. I'm going with the Bears. Why you laughing, man? I'm serious, man. I think he just
I know.
he does the Mo Show, and everybody just kind of brushes the losses under the rug, pays it no mind. Nah, man, you're still on the Get It Together list. Don't try to hit us with the foolery with the Mo Show. And I like you keep us entertained. I watch him. I watched a couple, but it still doesn't defeat the fact you're losing these games, bro. You need to get to the playoffs. So, I'm going with the Bears. We got the kid, Drew, and Relish.
Ravens is real funny, man. Like,
we're going with Ravens, man. I don't know what Drew's showing up. Is it the guy who's coming to play? Is he the guy who's on the owner's box saying he'll beat his brother 5 out of he'll win a 7-game series? Or is he the guy saying he's kind of burnt out from Madden and he's going to take a step back? I don't know.
Ravens the guy that throws for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, or is he the guy that throws for 300 yards but 5 picks? I'm going with Drew. I think any which way me and Drew's game shakes out is going to impact how he feels going into this game. If I beat Drew, I think he's motivated at 3-3, and that's a has to have game for him. I think if he wins, he's pumped up coming off that win against me, and it's enough to beat the Ravens, who will throw 3 or 4 picks during the game. And Drew's use is good enough to get them picks.
Yeah, there's no more. The no-fly zone era of that defense is over with. I'm still going Ravens. I'm going Ravens, man. I don't think Drew is maybe he'll get this episode and he'll get that energy back where he wants to play again. But that's it, man. Those are the breakdowns for the next 2 weeks here at the Owners Box. I know guys are going to hopefully be tagging me now, talking about, Gates, you lost, you didn't.
Right? That's good.
Yeah, that's what we want anyway. So, all those who are watching understand this is for motivational purposes only. We have our personal opinions or whatever, but ultimately we want the league to be competitive and good. And it's just some friendly trash talk, man. So, if we didn't pick you and you win, tag us and make me apologize. I mean, I do owe Aaron an apology for choosing the Chiefs to sweep him, and boom, I learned my lesson. I apologize. Won't happen again. Adam, you know what I'm saying? I felt like you let me down, but then you won the Super Bowl with the one that you were supposed to win. So we'll always be cool. Boom, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So there's no love lost there. Is there anything else I feel like we need to address, man? First show back in a month. We did together. We're already an hour and something in. So seems to be off.
I can't think of anything new to add to the mix. I'm tempted to ask if we want to drop any tips, but it's like me and you were saying earlier. It's at this point in the season, 6 seasons into the middle of April. It's kind of hard to hit anybody with anything that they don't know by now, and if they don't, maybe that's why they're losing.
I think a lot of tips, man. I think your speed correlation tip is dope. I mean, I know how I know it. I knew what it was. I know why you do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of people don't know that. 2 fast receivers on split sides, one on the street, one on the fade, with the 2 underneath coverages pulls the safeties. So it pulls. It creates a matchup.
Good point. That's a good point. There are tips. There are tips.
Yeah, we talk how to stop ticks to play that one halfback angle play, so hitting Jim in there.
You know what? There are. You know what? I will give a tip, but it's not really a tip. It's a preference. Me and Boone had a real interesting conversation toward the end of last season, and he had just lost a tick. But prior to that, he was a little, I don't want to say frustrated, but kind of frustrated in terms of, damn, I'm not able to, I feel like I need to add something to my mix. And I told him, I said, I think you need to blitz more. I said, there's 2 styles of defensive play in the league. There's the conservative style, which you and Boone and a lot of people play. And that's big. WAP is a master at it as well. That's basically, I'm not sending nobody at you. You're going to get 3 down linemen, maybe 4. I'm not running any blitzes. I'm not calling any. I might run a stock blitz as is every once in a while, throw you off. But I'm so confident in my user, I'm going to give you all the time in the world you need because I want you to throw the ball. Because when you throw the ball, I'm taking it from you and I'm changing it. Now, that style works. And it's highly successful. On the other end, there's another school of thought. There's the Cletuses, the Ties, the Payas. That's, hey, you know what? I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at your shit. I'm not giving you no time. And the way I'm going to get my turnovers is I'm either going to fumble strip you or I'm going to force you to do what we said earlier and throw directly to that first read you think is open that I'm going to cover up and take away from you because you ain't got time to look at nobody else. I don't think it's a coincidence that I've bounced back tremendously, 12 wins last season, back to the playoffs, in a good spot so far this season when I went back to that style. So it's not a tip, but I think defensively you need to understand who you are. Everybody can't sit in coverage. If you're Gates or WAP, or Boone, you can. But it's funny. I told that to Boone.
I can't now all of a sudden become a blitzer. Shit starts looking weird. Like shit's open. I'm running around panic mode. You know what I'm saying? Because shit's open.
And you hit that 100% right. That's why, and that's what my tip is. It's not telling anybody you should like the blitzers better, and it's not telling anybody the coverage guy is better. But know which one of those 2 you are, and whichever one of those 2 you are, stop trying to be the other one and focus 100% on that, because both of them, in both of those strategies, require a lot of thought. If you're the coverage guy, you have to know and understand that you're giving the QB time to throw. So if you're playing somebody smart that's patient, that can playmaker or scramble or is not going to jump on the first thing they think is open, if you're the coverage guy, you got to be smart enough to know, anticipate routes, anticipate combos, look at formations, and know, okay, he's coming out in a bunch if you're tick. Okay, so I know whenever he comes out in this bunch, he's throwing to that tight end on the inside on the C route as soon as he bends toward the right. And then you need to adjust your coverages appropriately. If you're the blitz guy like me, you need to know, okay, if I'm bringing this linebacker off the right, there's a big-ass hole right there. If this guy can see that hole, that's where he's going. So my coverage is on the left-hand side. So I immediately need to go left to right to cover that. So the one thing I would say defensively is try to establish an identity. Like Gates, you talk about this for offense. Defense is the same thing. Establish an identity. Don't just pick a bunch of coaches' plays and hope for the best. Like, understand who you are and what you're trying to do. And if you want to be a coverage guy, that style's successful. There's nothing wrong with it. But pick a defense that's suited to covering. Like, understand how cover 3 hard flat works. Understand how cover 3 cover works. Understand how quarter flats work. Understand your zone coverage assignments. If you want to be a blitz guy, understand where the holes in that blitz are, because they ain't always getting in.
Yeah.
And even when they do get in, you're leaving a hole somewhere.
Yeah,
so
that's why I never do it. God forbid, like Max protects. Somebody Max protects and IDs the mic. I'm like, you know.
Right. So
shit just running, people just running around wide open, like, oh.
So understand, well, and that's just it too, right? Because picking blitzes is no different than picking coverage. Yeah. There are some blitzes that no blitz is 100%. But if you look at Pyre's OLB Strike 2, or you look at some of the Sam Blitz 2s, or you look at some of the Pinch Dog 2s, or you look at certain ones, even though no one's 100%, there are certain ones you can count on. I'll give you guys one of mine. And I shouldn't give it out. I see you use it from time to time. I don't give a shit what happens. Fox fires zone 3 out of 3-4 odd is money. It's super hard to block. That shit, even see now. Here's the other thing I tell people about blitz.
I don't blitz on that. I call it, but the guys who blitzing, I throw them in coverage.
Nah, man. Hey, them dudes always get in, especially if you have the personnel. Fast linebackers, good block shit. They always get in.
You run a stock or?
Well, yeah, I run a stock.
Oh,
I run a lot of blitz stock, but that's what I'm saying. Picking a blitz is like picking a coverage. Like, there's a lot of different coverages you can pick. Some people love to live in Tampa too. Some people, like me, will run cover 3, but cover things up and shade underneath and over top and get the clouds going. And like, there's different ways you can run coverage. Blitzes are the same. You don't need to run and tweak a lot of the blitzes. You just need to understand where they're weak, where they're vulnerable, look it down in distance, understand where your person's going. Like, if somebody's consistently hitting you in the flats, man, shade your coverage down on your blitz. You ain't giving them a lot of time anyway, and when they go to throw to the flats, you're right there. Same thing with screens. So the one thing I'll tell people is, like, Fox fire zone 3 out of 3-4 odd is money. You can run it stock as is. You can flip that play. You can run it from the left. You can run it from the right. You can shade your coverages however you want. You can do whatever you want. But understand your personnel and understand how your blitzes work. Understand where they're vulnerable, and then pick higher percentage blitzes. Like, to me, Fox fire zone 3 stock is a high percentage blitz. It's not getting blocked a lot of the time, because what I try to tell people, a blitz doesn't ultimately have to result in a sack to be successful. If I can set heat on you to push your damn tackle into your back pocket and make you scramble left to right, throw off your back foot and overthrow or make an errant throw, I won. It's not always about I have to sack you. That's my tip for the day.
I like it. I like it. It's been some great tips. I don't even, you know, that's a hell of a tip. I don't even know if I have any offensive tips to give out. Unless you want one of my, I feel like I exposed one of your plays. Unless you want me to expose one of my plays that I run.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, unless you have one, I'm not giving. I don't have anything unless it's something that you want to know how I do. Or
no, I always like your tips. No, I just wanted it's funny, like you said, I didn't realize it, but in the course of our conversation, we did give out some cool tips, like how to stop that halfback angle, like determine if you're a coverage or a blitz guy, and how to pick your.
I got one. Because I see it's happening now, right? So, two things that are happening. People are still fake hiking it. Still fake hiking. I don't even. I've made the announcement, and I stick by the announcement. I have not turned my passive rush onto aggressive. I'm not doing it. We'll refuse to do it. I'm not doing it. So guys who are fake hiking me, you're wasting your time. Nobody's jumping because I'm not even doing it. Sometimes I even turn on conservative because I don't even want the BS to happen, right? Now I see we're in a hit stick league. USFL has now become hit stick. Nobody's tackling. The days of balanced tackling are over. They're done. If you come out in the first drive, you hear guys hit all the time, or a guy you go to make a tackle and he's lunging, he's not grabbing you, knowing he should have grabbed you, that means the hit stick aggressive tackling is on. Please turn on your ball carrier conservative. Yes, you might not break all the tackles, but you will not fumble the ball. I'd rather take the 2 or 3 yards than that fumble all the time. That's my tip. Understand what your opponent is doing and adjusting. And
you know what?
Opponent doesn't heed my advice, and he leaves his aggressive pass rush on, they cut his ass until he turns it off. That's what they do to me. I learned my lesson.
That was a good damn tip. I'm gonna ask you a question I've been able to answer to, but I'm gonna parlay this one tip into another tip. I'm noticing this too, and it's smart, even though it pisses me off, but it's smart, it's right to do. I just don't like it for whatever reason. And Eagles is notorious for this. There is never a time where he catches the ball where as soon as he catches it, he doesn't go into that full-on bullshit, dive prone shit. He will not take a hit to save his life. So, for those that don't know, Mr. Gates, how do you possess and catch?
Hold X. When the ball's in the air, you have to click on the guy by pressing triangle and then hold X.
Yep. Now,
understand your guy needs to have possession and catch traits. He'll get the animation, but he always won't make the catch if he doesn't have a trait unlocked. If he has a trait unlocked, 99% of the time he makes that catch. If he doesn't, he'll get the animation, but he might still drop it, even after a hit. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind.
Correct. Yeah. Good damn tip. I think we got it covered. Full show, predictions, tips.
That's it, man. That's how you come back. That's how you come back.
Awesome video. I like that shit. It's a good show.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that again. So if any guys would probably want to submit a play, shoot me a DM or something from a game, or say, I want to call them, Madden moments, or something where it's like.
I don't know if you remember this. I think we tried this in the NBL. If we can actually ever get the companion app working back again, I think there's a way to link video clips to the site.
Okay.
I have to look into that.
Okay. But yeah, if not, I would love to break them down, like how you broke it down. What was your mindset? What happened during this play? I want it, man. That's gonna be the game. That's gonna be the goal. You know what I'm saying? To have people to do that. I think you said you and Drew, so maybe you and Drew are both very active, so I could probably make that happen. Maybe hear from Drew's perspective on the game, or depending on how the game turns out, that you both want to say, hey, what happened? Why did this happen? What was your mindset? And this and that. See how it plays out.
It would be so cool and different and unique. I like that a lot. That's a nice little twist, just to have the thoughts after the fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got one last tip for everybody. It's not football related. I'm looking at my computer and it's 4/14. I'm going to get my taxes done today, a day before tax day. If you ain't got your damn taxes done, deadbeats, get your damn taxes done. The tax levy is nothing nice. I see them all day at work. I've had my taxes garnished before levy for a back payment from some shit from 2001. In 2017, I got hit up. And with the interest on it, it wasn't that nice. I had to pay that off, but take care of your taxes. So anybody that's forgotten it's tax day tomorrow, knock that out.
I I'll say this because I'm not even going to get into that tax conversation. I'm going to say this. You know, there's a game that's being played, a bigger financial game that's being played, right? Yeah. So I understand that there's a couple of things. There is no law that says you have to pay federal income tax, right? One. Number two, it violates the 16th Amendment. Federal income tax does, right? Aside from that, you know, you research those two things. What you can do is incorporate your name. If you incorporate your name as an LLC or sole proprietorship and then file it as an S corp, you then can go to your job and then tell them, ask them. And I don't want, you know, you can be an employee, but then you ask them, you know, do you do S corp to S corp? When they do that, then you file a different tax bracket. You write more things off, and you don't get hit with the same personal income tax like a regular employee does. So, just you know, just understand how money works and finances work, and you can, you know, that's how the rich stay rich and stuff like that. So, you know, just that's financial tip off the topic. So, you go to Ty route and go to old school W2, and good luck with that. I'm playing a different game. Yeah, I see how the millionaires are doing it, and I understand how they do it. So that's it, man. Other than that, man, I guess me and you will probably link back up Saturday next week. I'm gonna do no, actually, if you, you know, I'll see if I can do, even if I can just do just the game of the week breakdown where we show the video and the mindset. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. If I can get that to go, we'll do that. If not, then again we'll just break it down again next Saturday. Agreed, man. Games to break down. But other than that, man, it was an excellent show. I appreciate all those who tuned in. You got any closing remarks before I get up out of here? Or before we get up out of here? None, man. I'm done. You work today? No, but I gotta run a ton of errands, man. Okay. Ton of errands. I'm on the go right now. As soon as I click this computer off, I'm out the door. Yeah, man. Cool, man. So again, I appreciate all you guys for rocking out with us. Graphics and stuff are coming. It's not on this Google Hangouts, so I got to change the platform. But other than that, man, another great episode. Myself, Marc Gates, co-host Ty. Eagles, if you're watching, I understand I got something in these hands for you. I'm around. You know what I'm saying? Let me know when you play Drew. I'm definitely tuning into that game and that San Fran and Seattle game. I definitely want to see that as well. So. All right, man. All right, man. Everybody, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Ty and Mark, we out of here. Late.